he was going pop, 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 pop. Yep, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you made it for the second installment of the best channel in existence that you've ever seen in your entire life. I want to go ahead and drop another video talking about my approach to writing EG2 parts for a popular worship or CCM song at the moment. It was super popular last year and it still is. And that song is going to be, drum roll, please. 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 Holy Forever. Holy Forever. Holy Forever by Bethel Music. Yeah, it was super popular last year. And it's still kind of making waves in the scene. There's a lot of bigger artists doing like versions of it. Or recently, I saw for the first time Jen Johnson and Natalie Grant do it, and that was super cool to see that version of it. But I'm always biased, and I say the version that my worship team and I did at Fields of Faith this past year was the best. It included a spontaneous section where our vocalist went back into two bridges. One was a down bridge, and then the second one was like building, and then we went into two choruses. That first chorus was a build chorus, and then the second one was just a groove. Apparently our drummer said it was an accident. He didn't mean to make that first chorus a build one, but basically like during "And the Angels Cry," during that whole like section, he was going pop, 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 pop on the snare and the cymbals, just like creating this like super like crescendo moment. And then during the Holy Forever part, you know, like the very last part of like that A side of that chorus, he was doing like a cymbal. So yeah, I still say that is like the best version I've ever heard. I might be a little bit biased, but whatever. All right, Holy Forever, cool. I need to go ahead and get started. So now I have the bass tone that I use for worship stuff. I'm still tweaking some of it, but it's a pretty good tone for CCM. BPM's about 72. And we're doing it in the key of F. This is the one that we typically do in. It's the original key for the Bethel version from the Come Up Here album. So typically, since it's in the key of F, what I like to do, and what I did the first time I played it, was I played it in D standard. And so since, you know, at the time the only guitar I had was like my like Telecaster, and I didn't want to drop my Telecaster all the way to D standard. I had my Ibanez. Basically, by dropping my guitar a whole step down to D standard tuning, I could play G shapes, and that would be in the key of F. And so that's what I did for this guy when I first got him. As you can see, it has a quilted maple veneer, and it's blue, and it's really beautiful. I need to put new strings and work on the intonation. It's a little bit of a pain with the Ibanez Edge 2 0. Little bit of a pain working on like the intonation and the tuning. But I love this guy. I love being able to play him on like Sundays in the worship context, especially like keeping him in D standard. It was really cool to do the stuff that you normally wouldn't do, you know, like in a normal standard tuning. Anyway, there came a time when the intonation and the tuning on that one started to go bad, and around that time I was gifted this red Strat that I've been playing. I think it's a Player 2 Strat, made in Mexico. So a Mexican Strat. Red's my favorite color, so it's great. I was gifted it by a secret admirer who I do not know who it is to this day, but I'm still trying to figure that out. And so since then, this has been my primary guitar. Like on a couple sets, like if we do something like Goodness of God or Honey in the Rock, something more like country inspired, I will play the Telecaster. But as far as like build quality and like tuning stability and everything goes, like this is my go-to guitar now. All that to be said, back to Holy Forever. So it's in the key of F, and I always drop my guitar to D standard so I can play D shapes. Because I use this one all the time now, I like to keep it set up like a normal strat or like a classic strat. So that's 942s for the strings and then E flat standard. So what I do with this one, since I have the quad cortex, is on my preset for Holy Forever, I put a transpose at the very front of the signal and I transpose it down half a step. I don't know what happens, but anytime I try and transpose up, like the signal like gets like crackly and like it sounds really bad. But transposing down works better than transposing up, I've found. So I never transpose up anymore. I always transpose down half a step if I need to change the shapes that I'm playing, or I just suck it up and just bar all the shapes. But for Holy Forever, I transpose this one down half a step to where, hold on. Yeah, there you go. I always transpose it down half a step so that I can play G shapes in the key of F. All right, cool. So the very start of the song is that like super down section where it's just keys doing the melody. I can play it real quick. This is gonna be coming through my vocal mic, so it's gonna be hard to hear. But this down section right here. So what I do there during that section, EG1, he's doing like a palm muted thing or something like that. Something like that, higher up. And so what I do is I basically match the piano and I do the lead line, but I add the bass notes as well. And this is something like extra that I enjoy doing. Like this is kind of like my own personal style. Again, this whole video is going to be about my approach and like my take on the song and like how to write EG2 to the song from my point of view. If you're starting out, I would recommend like playing like the actual part that was written. Or if you're a different person, I would recommend putting your own spin on it that makes sense for CCM. But for me, what I like to do is, since it is more of a down moment, I could just swell, or I could, match the lead line and add another layer. I'll go ahead and play through what I do real quick. Just like that. I'd pretty consistently do that every single time we play the song. And I do it like on a super clean tone. I do it on the neck pickup of the Strat. And I do it with a dotted delay. I've actually been using the dotted delay a lot since seeing Carrie Job and Cody Carnes play at Passion and like recognizing the fact that their guitarists, their EGs, use a lot of like dotted delay to add ambience as opposed to just like a normal like auto swell or ambient patch. But that's what I do for the intro. And then going into the first verse, I kind of just like do a light palm mute with this dotted delay, just following the changes. So it would be F, B flat, F, D minor, C, B flat. So I keep that vibe. For that whole first verse, and then going to the pre-chorus, I start to bring out the chords. And so again, I play through the changes, but just like do a chord on like the one time, just like hit the chord once. Something that I like to add is you can hear in the bass line, I'm pretty sure. Actually, hold on, let me listen real quick.
Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest.
Cool. So in the bass line, I try and pick out the alternate note that they're hitting, like to transition to the next chord. So the progression, I would consider the progression, if we're in the key of F, B flat, and then C, D minor, B flat. That's what I would consider the progression. But what I do is I do that same exact thing, except I make note of the extra note that should transition to the C. So what that looks like is I hit the B flat, pick out the D minor, and then hit the C, then hit the full D minor, and then hit the B flat again. And then as I hit that B flat is when the lead line, it's synths, but our EG1 does it as well. The one more time, the do 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 do. One more time, the do 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 do. So that whole section right there, as I hit that B flat the second go around, that's when he does it. And what I like to do is I like to do like a call and response and echo that myself. So I go right after he does it. So it would be like this. Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name, it stands above them all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name, it stands above them all. So that's what I'll do for the pre-chorus. Now note the B side of that pre-chorus, since I am mirroring or doing the call and response for the lead line, since I am doing that, I don't pressure myself to jump back to the B flat. I kind of just let that ring, and then I hit the pickup D minor, and then go back into the progression right there. On the B side of that, instead of dropping back to the B flat, it drops to the G minor. It drops to the G minor instead of the B flat. So I hit that, and then I echo it at the proper time, which is half a measure after the lead line. So, and also on that second time, I make sure instead of hitting, I hit the actual. And then I just stay out for the whole first chorus until the turnaround where I'm going. And then I keep that going for the whole second verse. And if you've been forgiven, and if you've been redeemed. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing that for the whole second verse. EG1 does that, but then goes up and does the. So as EG1 does that, I keep the. So I keep that droning in the background as he does all of the EG1 stuff. And so then that goes straight into the chorus after tagging We'll Sing the Song Forever and Amen. And so for that, I switched to my rhythm patch and then humbucker pickup. So all of the previous stuff was a clean patch, dotted delay on the neck pickup. And then since I have a humbucker in the bridge as opposed to a single coil, I switched to a drive patch and then the humbucker as well, for hitting those changes during the turnaround. And we'll sing the song forever and amen. And then ta-ta-doo-doo. And so I hit those changes with the drive patch. The next section, I hit all of the changes. Let me just show you what I do real quick. So basically what I do is I do the same exact thing that I did in the first chorus, except I add palm mutes, and I find places to like pick out the individual notes in the chord. So it goes something like this. So that's what I do. That's my approach to that second chorus. Again, I pick out the D minor transition to the B flat or to the C. I pick out that B minor by just hitting the low string. And then I just keep on going with the progression, which happens to almost use every single chord in like your standard Nashville number system, which is fun. Because then you get to exploit more of the fretboard. Like that transition right there from the 5 to the 7. And again, like I wouldn't consider that the actual progression of the song, but I like to pick out in the bass line where there is like a 7 like somewhere hidden in there, and I like to exploit that. I like to exploit that in my EG2 parts. Then what I typically do, stay on the humbucker, stay on the drive patch. And then I kind of like pseudo match what EG1 does. I hit that D minor in the 3rd. Then I hit the 7. And realistically, I probably use the dotted delay drive because it is a pretty open section. And I want the delay to kind of fill everything out. And then hit my B flat, and then the lead guitar does the lead line boom, 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 boom. One more time. Do, 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 do. One more time. Do, 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 do. One more time. Do, 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 do. And so again, as I hit that B flat, the EG1 does that, and I wait half a measure to mimic it. I repeat that same thing. Mimic the lead guitar. Hit the G minor. But instead of mimicking, I give myself time to get ready for the next chords, because that's when a build happens. And at that point, I'll need to start driving. And that's when I kick on my boost patch. And I start going through the changes, just like hitting, I guess 16ths. I go. And then that last chorus is the same exact thing as the second chorus that I do, except obviously it's on a boost patch now, humbucker. And then the last time I kind of add like an octave thing. So if I play through it, it kind of sounds like this. And the angels cry, holy. Octave. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm not going to do a playthrough because this video has gotten long enough, but that's the approach. That's the general approach. Obviously this video isn't going to be monetized because I'm not going to jump through the hoops to get all of the licenses and stuff to use their music. And frankly, I'm not trying to make money like right now either off of you know, the best YouTube channel ever. Clearly I'm not trying to do that. So obviously the best thing to do would be to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss another episode of the best YouTube channel in existence. Check out, I mean, if I'm being honest, like check out the Instagram reel that I did a while back about the Nashville number system. Basically talking through the numbers behind the chorus for Holy Forever. That's kind of just like that reel kind of explained like the way that I think about like the chords that I'm gonna play for the chorus. Yeah, so check out the Instagram, like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell, tell all of your friends, tell all of your family, tell your gramps and your grannies. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to do another run through of EG2 parts. Woo!